What's going on, guys? Kai here. You started the game and you don't know what class to pick, and you also don't know if you want to go PvP or PvE. Let me tell you your options and why it matters. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so when you download the game, the very first screen you're going to see is the class selection screen. I generally prefer telling people to go for either Ninja or Lancer. That's because they start with a A-tier outfit, which will give you some stats to start you off a little bit stronger than others. Now, you are not locked into this. Once you hit the third day, you can pick a second class and you can swap between the two during combat. And once you hit level 102, you can buy a class change scroll from the arena shop. You can change your weapons. Nothing, you don't lose the stats that are on your weapons or nothing. They literally just change into a new weapon. So I suggest starting with Lancer or Ninja, so that you get that. Your secondary slot you can change on the fly whenever you feel like it. So I would suggest once you hit level 50 on day 1, getting some weapons of different types, and then by day 3 you'll be able to put on a second weapon and try them all out and see what you actually like. Then when you hit 102, you can make changes as you see fit, and that's actually going to be something we talk about towards the end of the video. Now let me log into my main account so I can talk to you about more stuff. Alright guys, so when you start out, I'm going to tell you to focus on PvE, player versus environment. The reason being, the important things you're going to have early on is going to be Path of Fire Sword. That's going to be very important early on. There's events for it. You get AFK rewards, as you see right there, based on how far up you are. Every 3 days you get rewards right here. Just very, very important. Also, Elemental Realm is going to be really important for getting inscriptions and orders. And this is PvE, so you want to focus towards these things. You also have Guild Boss, which will early on give you a bunch extra guild currency that you can use to get the outfit for some extra base stats. And then once you build up, you'll be able to get a good weekly income of guild credits that you can use in the shop. Those are the two main ones right there, but there's a couple other ones, such as Flower Fairy X people. People don't generally care about this, but you need to hit a certain rank to be able to fight something. And a lot of people, once they get to this Tide or Billow, they have a hard time doing the entire wave. Especially right here, Billow 3 can be hard because there's a boss every 5 levels, and I think that is where people generally start to have troubles. Once you get a lot stronger, obviously it's going to be a lot, but you see there's a big jump between 62 and 80. So definitely Hadel Depths 3, you'll notice, okay, I need to lock in, and that's kind of why I want you to go for PvE. You may think fairy XP is worthless, but leveling your fairies and leveling your wills is a lot of CP. Then we have Time Trial and Abyss Ruins. Both of them is going to matter. Abyss Ruins, you can only go into ones based on how far you've gotten, and Path of Fire, which everything kind of leads back into what you're doing. And Time Trial, faster is better. You get better rewards. Every 2 days they interchange. On the weekends, as you see today, Sunday, they're both open. But that's it for the PvE. And I know there's madness raids. you'll be able to clear higher levels faster if you focus PvE early, but over time you'll be able to get the repetition, you'll be able to handle it, especially if you go in a group of 2 or 3 or 4 people. Disaster Crusade, that levels with you a bit. I would suggest with Disaster Crusade to go in with 5 people, because its difficulty goes up from 5 to 6 to 7 to 8. So I would suggest going in with 5 so it's a little bit easier for everybody, even if you're carrying people. But that's why I say to go for PvE. The big ones is, like I said, going to be that Path of Fire, Elemental Realm. Those are 2 most important key things. Path of Fire is giving you, just to show you the rewards, you get the upgrade stuff for fairies, and definitely if you're number 1, you get the crown, which has some good stats, good stuff to get. Also, you'll be able to hit higher levels to the right. You see there, I have 2 days to get to 520, so I can get that extra 450 summon seeds. Really important. And Elemental Realm is really, you're fighting for these boxes for inscriptions and orders. One of the pay-gatey things in the game. Now, when should you swap over to PvP? And there's 2 answers to that. Either one, you can kind of set up 2 setups, one for PvE and one for PvP. Such as, you can have this glove like this, which is suited towards PvP with that pierce rate, crit, break, stuff like that. But you could also set up a second pair of gloves that has boss damage increase and things like this, focused more so on PvE. And whenever you go to do your PvE stuff for the day, you can swap over to your PvE equipment, go do it, and then come back and swap back to your PvP stuff. People also way later on do this with IOs as well, where they will have a set for PvP and a set for PvE. But this is more so for later game people. For the general public, early on up to 130, 140, things like this, which I think is where people are really looking for what they're doing, in that 120, 130, 140 range. And that's when you unlock all the game modes. And I believe the best way to do this is if we look at the calendar, right? The main important things for PvP is on the weekend. So we'll see on Saturday, there's Shrine Peak. Depending on the week, there will also be, let me find the time. It's not showing here because it already ended, but you'll also have Burning Soul Battle. The second and the third and fourth day of the knockout, of the Swiss rounds, and then the finals of the knockout are on the weekends. And then on Sunday, you had the finals for Top League. And there's as you see, there's the last Guild War on Saturday. There's some Crystal Battlefield, obviously. You can do that as well to go for good scores. But what I suggest is during the week, be on a PvE build. And so Cannon is currently the best in most PvE. If that is not your play style, you can do Dragon Fighter or Marksman. Those are kind of the trinity for PvE right now. And I suggest being on that Monday through Friday, all the way through. And what you can do is one of 2 options. Either do all the PvE stuff early Friday morning, and then swap to your PvP stuff, do a class swap for PvP Friday afternoon, and then you can do the last knockout rounds for Top League. You can do Thunder Roar, go for better stuff that way. Burning Soul Battle, if that's the current week for it, and coast into the weekend. And then on Saturday, you kind of forego your PvE scores on Saturday with pushing Path of Fire Sword. You forego high scores on Elemental Realm that day, so that you can do the PvP on Saturday, which is a pretty stacked day. You have Guild War. Generally, it ends up being at least one of them. Usually, is one of your big competitors. Then you have Burning Soul Battle Finals. Then you have Shrine Peak. So a bunch of PvP on Saturday, and then on Sunday you can do the PvP stuff as well. Specifically Top League, that's going to be a big reward structure, as you see right there. Also does inscriptions and glyphs. And then once that's done, once that's all locked in, you can swap back to your PvE, knock that all out Sunday night, so the only day you're kind of sacrificing is Saturday. Or you can forego the 8 matches on Top League on Friday and just coast. This really depends on your server. If you can make top 8 on Friday on your PvE set, go ahead and do it, so you're not sacrificing anything on Saturday. So you can do that swap on Saturday, swap back on Sunday, and then that's the ideal way to do it. But if you're worried about being knocked out of top 8 in Top League, that's more important than one payout of Elemental Realm. So that's it, guys. Let me know what you think down below. I've been doing this for a long time. I realized I didn't do a video on this, but I think this is the best way to do it. Let me know what you guys think down below. Till next time, guys.